Hello and welcome back. My name is Rosie,
And my name is Paul.
and this
Is
Sinister.
Sinister.
So, today we will be discussing another case from Ireland, which Paul and I briefly mentioned in a previous episode. We said we wanted to cover, but today we will be discussing the case of Anastasia or Ana Kriegel. I believe I'm pronouncing her last name right. That's what it says in most of the news reports. I really hope I am correct. I hope it's Kriegel.
Yeah, I say you should be fairly close with your pronunciation. Well, look, it's a foreign name.
Yeah.
Ireland people will get the gist of the case. It is a fairly still a fresh case in a lot of people's minds.
Absolutely. Trigger warning now, she was only 14 at the time of her death, so we will be discussing a case where it's a murder of a child. So for anyone who wants to leave now, we do completely understand that. There will also be mentions of child SA. I won't be going into any explicit detail on that, but she was a child and it will be mentioned. And for everyone else, let me tell you the story of Ana Kriegel. So, Anna was born on the 18th of February 2004 in Russia and was actually housed in an orphanage shortly afterwards. In 2006, though, Anna was adopted by an extremely loving couple, Geraldine and Patrick Kriegel, and the family soon after took Anna to Ireland to live in a town called, I believe it's Leixlip?
Leixlip would
Leixlip.
be close.
In County Kildare, which seems right on the border of Dublin County.
Could be, yeah. Kildare or Dublin border.
Yeah, okay, cool. So, just like all great parents, they wanted Anna to have a wonderful, happy childhood and did everything to maintain that in their home. The two wanted Anna to maintain her connections with her Russian culture, despite neither of them having Russian connections. So, Geraldine was, I believe she was Irish herself.
Going by name Jardine sounds Irish.
Yeah, some reports said English, some said Irish, I believe, and she sounded, with her accent, she sounded more Irish. And Patrick was actually French. But they chose to keep Anna's name and celebrate her culture with her. They seemed to really want to instill pride in Anna about her heritage. I think that's such a great sign of, like, really good parenting.
Yeah, sure, I suppose like they adopt her, but they didn't want her to lose her background, her own upbringing.
No, and I think that's, like, the perfect way to be.
But was there a reason why she was adopted, or?
She was just unfortunately given up. I believe her mum was young. She was put up in an orphanage and that was it.
Look, not to make any odds of it.
Yeah. So like I said, they encouraged the happy home life. Anna loved dancing around and singing. She enjoyed performing. She would even post videos of herself dancing to YouTube, and her parents encouraged this performer in Anna. She was also said to be a strong swimmer and talented in gymnastics, and they encouraged all these extra curricular activities.
I suppose, look, Russian blood, they would be fairly fit.
You're
people.
just stereotyping Russians.
I'm not. I'm just saying, like, you'd see them, well, they were competing in the Olympics, but they used to have the best in the Olympics.
But while Geraldine and Patrick loved the happy home they had with Anna, they couldn't control her life when Anna was at school or the things happening online. So primary school was apparently a positive experience for Anna, but a teacher had expressed her concerns to Anna's parents about Anna going on to secondary school. This teacher actually feared that Anna's innocence and distinctiveness would attract mockery in secondary school, and unfortunately those fears ended up being true, with Anna struggling quite a bit once she did go on to secondary school. She really struggled to make friends and fit in with her classmates, and she ended up enduring some horrific bullying. A lot of the bullying seemed to stem from her being adopted, with them making fun of Anna for having a fake mum and dad. Really nasty. And there was also a lot of negative comments about her height, since at 14 she was 5'8". Which look, I feel like it would stick out in this country.
Yeah, she would be tall for an Irish person going to secondary school.
Yeah.
Well, look, then again, very.
But regardless, it sounds like really nasty, childish shit. So Anna was also shunned by the girls in her class and would have to see, girls organising sleepovers with their best friends and things like that, while she wasn't getting to experience those same things. And worst of all of it, she was being sexually harassed by her classmates and even older students. It was super sickening stuff for a 14-year-old to be going through. Older students too, like people older than 14, just creepy. I don't care if they're still minors.
Was it just because she looked more mature than what she was?
Yeah, I would say a lot of it has to do with the fact that she did not look like a 14-year-old girl. But regardless, I will talk about quotes and stuff in a minute, but her mum even mentioned that she was, in her mind, she was so innocent and she was so much younger than the other kids, regardless of what she looked like on the outside kind of thing. Now, there ended up being an event that happened to Anna. So Anna volunteered to supervise a Halloween disco for younger children, and she was there supervising when 4 older boys approached her, repeatedly asking Anna for sex, and they went as far as to hit her on the bottom in like a sexual manner. This obviously really upset Anna. That's such a violating thing to happen to anyone. But Anna returned home hysterical and terrified. So Geraldine and Patrick went to the police, wanting to report this incident, but those boys only received a caution. I suppose they would have also been minors, but...
Yeah, I suppose, look, it's just the justice system here. It has to be something serious before they actually do anything.
Yeah.
Which is stupid.
It is, but like, say these boys might have been like 16.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, these boys knew what they were doing.
Absolutely. They're still violating another person. They know what they're doing. It's so gross. But yet, they got away with a caution somehow. Now, she was clearly going through it at this time. Obviously, that's already so much stuff going on. But then, like, she was suffering with all that kind of internally as well. And I think it was all getting too much for Anna. Like, it would be too much for an adult. This way too much for a 14-year-old. But Anna ended up getting suspended from school for painting a black eye onto herself, which her mother seemed to believe was Anna's own self-expression of her emotional pain. I also actually don't understand how a school could justify like suspending someone over painting something onto themselves. If there was an issue where they're like, that's a distraction, tell her to go wash it off and move on with your day.
Yeah, but then again, like, they should be questioned more. Like, it was a kind of a cry for help.
Yeah.
Like, she needed somebody's attention, or there was something building up inside her that she needs to talk to someone.
Yeah. And that's so true. I just think whatever teacher was there reporting that and thought that suspension was the correct thing, they should be so ashamed of themselves. So they didn't deal with it correctly at all. 100%.
I know, I should have just turned a blind eye to it.
Yeah.
We'll suspend her. We'll just get rid of the problem.
Yeah. Also, you're telling me they weren't aware about the bullying and things like that? Like, come on, you like...
Well, like, if she was after reported to police and the boys started getting a caution.
Yeah.
Surely the school would have known about this.
And then she's the one that gets suspended for something so silly. But the bullying continued, and this also went online. So this included messages of a sexual nature continuing. Around this time, Anna did unfortunately attempt self-harming. I believe it was a one-off, but she had also sent herself messages off a fake account she created to bully herself. Now, I think that also fits into the self-harming category. It was almost like she was adding to her own emotional pain because she just didn't know how to cope or something like this. Regardless, Geraldine, after that event, decided that she wanted all of the passwords and everything for all of Anna's social media, and she would check with Anna all social media every single night and see what was going on online. Fair. Also, I think good parenting.
Yeah, but like, would not better parenting be going deeper and seeing what kind of help or what Anna was going through?
Yeah. We will get to it. So Anna had tried
like,
to
move her out of the area, go to a different area.
There's
like...
so much, yeah. There is a lot that probably could have been done. Maybe there would have been a better school elsewhere. It might have been a bit further away, but it would have suited her needs better, things like that. I get that. But I guess too, I think in so many ways they were trying to do the best by their daughter. And
I'm not saying, I know. Hindsight's a big thing, like, but...
Yeah.
But there was early signs.
There was, and they were also seeking help for her through therapies and things like that. And that will come out. Like, they tried to get her into one kind of counselling place, but due to the fact that she had previously self-harmed, they wouldn't accept her. I don't know why, but they wouldn't take on anyone that had done that. So she proved herself through other ways, proved that she wasn't going to self-harm, she wasn't a risk in that sense, and then they took her on as a client. Now, I also mentioned her YouTube channel. Anna was also getting bullied on that, and not just by her peers. It seemed like it was random people, including adults, like grown men and things, sending her hate messages online, including people sending her death threats and wishing execution upon her. I really don't think you should do that to anyone, but to do that to a 14-year-old seems absolutely sick.
And none of that was looked into.
No.
And would she not just shut down her YouTube account and...
I know, but I guess it was something she enjoyed and she liked dancing and I don't know. She'd get with her cousin and they'd film videos and things like that. And she kept posting. I know.
Yeah, sure.
In saying that, we did discuss her being quite naive and like innocent and things like that. It's very hard to think about what you would do as a 14-year-old just trying to fit in.
Yeah, but like if you're getting death threats on the social media account, you just shut it down. You'd be, I don't know, 14, innocent, but still.
I know that, you know, most parents seeing death threats would want to shut their child YouTube account down. So I don't know if Geraldine hadn't seen the death threats or what it was like going on. I know she knew about the YouTube account because she'd stated that she would go off and film videos and stuff. So I don't know. But it's a very tricky situation. Now, obviously, all these things were very hard on Anna, but it was also super hard on her parents. There were a few comments her mum later made that, oh my gosh, they absolutely broke my heart. Geraldine noted how vulnerable Anna was, like I said, and despite looking older than 14 years old, she stated her daughter was a child on the inside, far younger than her youth. Geraldine also stated that Anna was trying to make friends all the time. She spent a lot of time at the house, she loved her family and was happy at home, but it would have been nice for her to have a best friend. That broke my absolute heart. I was shattered reading that. Yeah, got a little teary.
Yeah, but I suppose, yeah, she was trying to make friends, but... no, friendship normally kind of just works natural.
They do, and unfortunately, she just was in a bad situation where she was getting bullied for things that she couldn't help about herself, and that's not fair. And also, not to say anyone should change, she was who she was. And we all love our little quirky bits and pieces.
Oh, sure, of course, you shouldn't. That's, but was she changing her own way and trying harder to make friends?
Maybe.
If she kind of stayed at her own level, was she trying too hard to make friends?
See, I think almost if anything, at that age, you kind of just have to try and fit in, and that's how you get accepted. And I don't think she cared to do that. I think she wanted to be her, and she would run around and dancing and singing and being over the top and everything else. And her parents seemed to state that that's who she was. She was a lot. And that's amazing. Like, that can be such an amazing quality to just be so full of life. And her dad said she was always full of life. But, you know, kids can be cruel. And she would say something trying to fit in, and that would make it worse. It just seemed like she was just dealt a nasty load of classmates, unfortunately.
Yeah. I suppose, look, Lisa wouldn't be bad, yeah, it wouldn't be great. Like, it'd be nearly like, be close to Dublin suburbs kind of thing.
Okay, a little rough?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I spent a bit of time up there.
Did you?
Yeah. It could be alright, but say for a foreign girl trying to move in,
No.
maybe look different, old school family kind of things.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. Is it country?
Like, it'd be kind of Dublin would be spread out. It'd be kind of Dublin suburb. Like, it'd be a lot of, say, the scum from Dublin would be kind of move you out that direction.
Oh, okay.
So I say the property began so expensive in Dublin that
That they had to go
they'd be shoved out to these
smaller towns kind of thing?
Twomby's, well, it's probably more built up now since I worked there, but it'd be still, we have a lot of scum.
Okay. So Patrick was actually a retired lecturer, and he spent a lot of time with Anna doing the school runs and things like that. And he even said she was a happy child, but after starting secondary school, she became stressed, which he said wasn't like her. He said the stories she would tell from school were not happy stories. They would call her weird, and they just didn't understand a kid being themselves and having fun doing their own thing. But he said that Anna still didn't hate these children she went to school with. She couldn't hate anyone. She was just a nice girl. So now we get to the 14th of May, 2018. Anna was woken up for school by her mother. Anna had a counselling session that afternoon that she needed a note to leave school early to get to. So Geraldine signed the note for Anna and kissed her goodbye before going to work. And their Patrick got her ready for school and took her to school as normal. Anna returned home for lunch and then walked to her counselling appointment. After the appointment, Anna returned home, made herself a snack and then rang her mum. But Geraldine was in a meeting and texted Anna that she'd call back shortly. Anna spent some time in her room doing her own thing, and Patrick was outside in the backyard when the doorbell rang at 4:55 p.m. Patrick answered the door to a 13-year-old boy that Anna goes to school with, who we will call Boy B due to his age. So Boy B asked for Anna, and Patrick went and told Anna, who was initially confused because she wasn't friends with Boy B. But Anna went to the door and spoke to him anyway. Now, Anna also had a crush on someone who will be known as Boy A, as he is also 13. And Boy B tells Anna that Boy A wanted to meet up with her and has asked Boy B to bring Anna to meet him. I know it's very confusing with the Boy A, Boy B.
Yeah, but look, that was the court cases that they couldn't disclose names, which, look, is it right? Is it wrong? Should names be disclosed?
Well, I think after 18, their names should be disclosed. I think as a child, as a minor, I know it sounds horrible, but I think once they're 18...
I think once they're found guilty, everything should be exposed. Maybe at the start of the case, when they're youth, if by A, by B, when there's no proof, but once the proof is out there, I should see that everything should be exposed.
They were actually exposed.
I know they were exposed online, and there was actually people getting jail sentence that time for exposing their names.
It's crazy, isn't it? We'll get into it.
I know, but say, like, if you knew the person, and you know they're totally guilty, and you put up on your Facebook page, oh, Johnny down the road,
yeah,
and you can get jailed for it.
Yeah.
I think once they're found guilty, they should be exposed.
I don't agree on that. I don't think exposing minors would benefit anyone. But I think once they're 18 and they are getting released from prison, people should be able to identify who they were. In a sense, like, these two people are being released from prison and they had committed this crime, if you get me. Just so people in the public can be cautious of their own safety, really. Now, going back to this case, I can only imagine having a crush on someone at like 14 years old and being told they wanted to meet up. It would have been so exciting for Anna. I feel like I don't think she would have given any previous bullying a second thought. And I also think there's this messed up thing that adults can do sometimes. I feel like they particularly say this to little girls. I know I got told it as a kid, that they say, like, if a boy is mean to you, it's because the boy likes you. And I'm definitely not saying that Anna's parents said that, because I have no idea. But it's like a thing that goes around like schoolyards and everything. And I feel like that could have also been an idea that she had, that Boy A had previously bullied her as like a sign of affection. And that thought is like crumbling.
But you look, once the film made about that in Ireland. The film was a series. It was actually a fucking very good series. But I don't know. It was a foreign girl that was going to the same school as him, and like that, no, she was being bullied in the whole lot. And she fancied him, and he fancied her, but he was so popular in the football team and the whole lot that he couldn't be seen with this one because no one in the school liked her. Okay. But like, they ended up getting together. But then they went to college, they got together, they broke up, they went to different countries, they went to France, they met again. I don't know what other people knowing.
They were together.
They actually didn't finish up together. God, what's the name of that show? Okay, look, we'll talk about it. I can't think his name now. It's actually myself and Dan used to watch the show every week.
Oh, did you? Alright, well, if anyone knows that show, let us know.
Everyone fucking listening to it is roaring at their phones. It is! It is! We can't use Google while we're recording, sorry. No phones allowed.
So, as I was saying, Anna, being as excited as any other 14-year-old probably would be, she ran upstairs to get her jacket and told her dad she was going out. Patrick reminded Anna that she had exams to study for, and Anna responded that she wouldn't be long and left the home with Boy B. Seconds later, Patrick realised he'd not asked his daughter where she was going, so he went to the door and saw Anna walking towards St. Catherine's Park. She must have been too far to call out, so he left her at it. Patrick also noted how happy Anna was when she left with a big smile, so he didn't want to stop that. But he noticed that Boy B, at the time, appeared to be walking ahead of Anna and they didn't appear to be talking. This was also witnessed on CCTV. I'd say too, Patrick had probably also heard all these horrible stories from Anna going to school and her coming home and crying at all these different times. And maybe he's there hoping that this is like the start of a new friendship or the start of something new for Anna where she can make friends at school and things like that. I don't know. It's very heartbreaking.
Yeah, look, you could say there should be a bit more suspicion too, but...
So he wasn't suspicious.
Yeah, but...
We'll get to it.
There should be, but things just don't change.
I know.
Look, I know it's easy to shove the blame game on after.
Yeah.
So, like, with all the bullying that she was going through.
It's one of those things. I'm really happy that you have that view, though. So you would be more suspicious if something like that were to happen. And that comforts me. We are also, to be fair, the both of us are quite pessimistic in a sense. We do kind of see the worst in people at times, and we don't have a lot of trust in people.
What's that supposed to mean?
We can be a bit like, they've got to prove themselves. Now, separately to this, at 5:10 p.m, Geraldine was on the train home and she attempted to return Anna's previous call. If you remember, Anna had tried to call her, but it went straight to voicemail. And meanwhile, Anna's following Boy B through a park to a derelict farmhouse, which took about 30 minutes to walk to. And this is where Boy A was waiting for them. Now, Geraldine returned home at 5:30 and sent Anna a text informing her that she's now home, to which Anna didn't respond. So Geraldine finds Patrick in the back garden and he lets her know that Anna's gone off with Boy B. Geraldine was immediately concerned since Anna has no relationship with Boy B and there aren't many friends that come to their home to invite Anna out. And given the horrible time she has in school, Geraldine immediately isn't thinking good things about this. She sent Anna another message demanding a response. I think she threatened police if Anna didn't respond, just to get Anna's attention, but Anna didn't reply. Geraldine then walked over to the park that Patrick had said, like, the direction that Anna had gone in, but there was no sign of Anna. The two eventually had dinner, and then Geraldine went out driving looking for Anna, since Anna did apparently enjoy going for long walks on her own, and that wouldn't have been out of the ordinary for her to be going on a long extended walk.
But I said they'd make the dinner first and we go looking for the daughter after.
I'm not going to judge these parents. I don't have it in my heart to.
She had suspicion straight, she landed home.
I know, but she tried calling. I do think, for the most part, they made good decisions with trying to find Anna. I will let it be known it wouldn't have made a difference had they gone looking then.
I know, yes, I know. Look.
But again, there was no sign of Anna anywhere around the entire area. They ended up doing some Facebook searching to find information on Boy B, and they ended up going to the guards once Anna had been missing for 4 hours. So I'm going to get through this part quite quickly, given the age of Anna and those involved, and thankfully too, there's actually not much information online detailing the events of what happened. So Anna arrives at the house with Boy B, and Boy A had already gone to this farmhouse with an array of items, including a zombie mask, black gloves, shin guards and knee pads, as well as a long stick and a concrete block. Police would call this his murder kit. Trigger warning now for physical and sexual violence. So supposedly, Boy B had only brought Anna there because Boy A wanted to talk to her, but then Boy A began attacking Anna with the items. It was the stick first. So Boy B fled, not actually wanting to partake in hurting someone. But Boy B said as he was leaving, he heard Anna's screams, but left her there to fend for herself. And he apparently went home to do homework. Meaning, after Boy B left, Boy A had Anna in a secluded home to beat and also sexually assault her, eventually beating her to death. Anna's cause of death would later be determined as blunt force trauma to her head. So her parents were at the Garda station where they explained how out of character this is for Anna, for her to have disappeared like this, and that even if she wasn't talking to them, she would text them to inform them that she wasn't talking to them. Which is such a cute little thing to do. So the guards said this happens all the time and kids usually end up back home in a few hours, but thankfully they actually began investigating immediately, which I think is one of the happiest guard stories I kind of have. So they went to Boy B's home, who told them that he'd gone to the park with Anna but left her there around 5:40 to return home. But by the following day, when there was still no sign of Anna, a more intense investigation took place. They returned to Boy B's home for further questioning, where Boy B came forward informing police that he'd only picked up Anna on behalf of his friend Boy A. Boy B said that Boy A knew Anna had a crush on him and wanted to meet up with Anna to inform her that he wasn't interested. Boy B said he brought Anna to the park and left her there with Boy A so he could return home to do his homework. But when Boy A was interviewed by police, he said that Boy B had been with Anna at the park and Boy A had just met him there. Anna then asked out Boy A, which she'd apparently already done before, so he needed to let her know gently that he wasn't interested in going out with her. Anna apparently didn't say anything in response and walked away from the boys looking annoyed and sad. That was the last time either of them had seen Anna, supposedly. In Boy A's story, he also ended up being attacked by 2 boys, but his injuries weren't consistent with an assault, and police couldn't verify this with any of the CCTV footage that would have captured exactly where he said he was when he was assaulted. It took 3 days for Anna's body to be found, which was on Thursday, the 17th of May, 2018. Here they found her clothes scattered around the house with bloodied pieces of wood along with the bloody stick and the bloody cement block. Anna was found unclothed with blue Teskin building tape wrapped around her neck, and she was found with 3 of her fingers inside the tape as if she had attempted to free her throat. There is another trigger warning now for mentions of SA for the next 30 seconds. Forensics didn't find signs of sexual assault in particular. It seemed like there had been an attempted penetration, but no actual penetration, and they couldn't work out what the object was. And there was semen found on a top that she had been wearing. Now, Boy A and Boy B were immediately under suspicion. I'm assuming it was since Boy B had picked her up, mentioning around Patrick that Boy A wanted to see her, but due to them being minors, names couldn't be used in the media. Now, during the investigation, Boy A and Boy B both denied any knowledge of the killing. Boy A had been described as an unlikely murderer. Teachers described him as courteous, intelligent, and as being from a stable middle-class home. So there were people declaring it couldn't possibly be him. Are you telling me the teachers aren't seeing what's going on? Are they that simple?
But I suppose it's just, I know, it's a case that people couldn't actually probably believe that this is after happening.
That's true too.
Sharply.
Yeah, but
it's a 13 or 14-year-old boy. If you knew he was capable of doing this, would you actually teach him? Would you not have been reported it?
They've been bullying Anna the entire time.
But so have all the rest of the school.
They have been. But if there was people bullying Anna already, I wouldn't be there describing them as courteous, intelligent, blah, blah. I'd be they have a history of bullying Anna, but I can't imagine my students doing that.
But so the whole school have history of bullying her. Even adults, you're saying in her YouTube videos.
Comments, yeah.
So like 2 13-year-old boys, you're not going to expect this out of them.
Oh God, no! You're never going to expect
to
this
take
out of them.
a young girl, to a derelict house and actually be. I wouldn't even know what to do. Well, they had weapons, they had blocks, they had sticks, they had gloves, they had tape.
Mm.
They knew what they were going to do.
100%.
It wasn't just a spur of the moment thing.
This was planned.
It was a premeditated.
It was premeditated, but I wouldn't be there talking them up so much as a teacher, knowing that other things are going on behind the scenes personally.
But the teachers can always say what happens in the classroom.
Yeah, I think they would know better. Now, police ended up finding the quote-unquote murder kit in Boy A's possession, and when police went through Boy A's phone, they found a very violent type of pornography on it. And there was over 12,000 pornographic images, most of a sexually violent nature. And horrifically, they had also discovered Google searches for torture methods and abandoned places in Lucan. That's there's just, thankfully, so many indications that this was who had done it. Boy B also ended up informing police that about a month prior to Anna's murder, Boy A had approached him asking if Boy B wanted to kill somebody. But Boy B had said no, had kind of laughed it off a little bit and been obviously not, but why do you want to kill someone? And then asked who he was planning to kill. And boy A said Ana. So this was super fucking premeditated. This like a month prior, he's planning this, asking for accomplices, asking for help. But also, boy B didn't do anything to prevent this in any capacity. I know he's 13.
Like, he's fully accountable for what he'd done. Like, he knew what was happening.
Knew exactly what was happening. So for a
Like,
month.
he knew for a month what was happening. He knew he wanted to take Anna for a walk.
Correct. He knew exactly what he was getting Anna for. There's not a... He heard her scream. He said, like, originally, he said, I heard her scream, but I knew she was with boy A, and he would keep her safe. But he'd known for a month what
Boy A was planning.
Now, both boys continued to deny having anything to do with Anna's death, even throughout the trial, but they were both found guilty at trial. And on the 18th of June 2019, both were charged with murder, even though they believed that boy B wasn't actually there for the murder. But obviously, the murder couldn't have possibly occurred without the part he played in it. And then on top of that, boy A was additionally charged with aggravated sexual assault. But during trial, both boys were granted lifelong anonymity, so their names will never be disclosed to the public. I know.
Yeah, that's this fucking justice system in this country. I don't see why they should be kept quiet.
No, I don't either. Did you ever hear about the case of James Bulger in Liverpool, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah. And both of his attackers' names were kept quiet, and once they came out of prison, they were, like, granted new names, new identities, the whole shebang. And then a few years later, one of them was found with, like, child pornography.
Yeah. That's only lately.
Yeah, it wasn't... he was still given anonymity. Still granted anonymity, even though that was a brand new charge and everything. It's sickening how it works, really.
No, that should happen down in Walford. Like that, no.
Really?
Fella killed a young fella.
Yeah.
He was sent to prison. He had to do all his college degrees, the whole lot, came out smarter than what he went in and with no identity. That's another case actually we should do.
Okay. But, like, I feel like the public should be aware of who their neighbours are. I would want to know if my next door neighbour was someone who had brutally murdered a 3-year-old boy, even if they were a child at the time, because if you're capable of that as a child, you're capable of it at any time. Before, I'm living next door to someone having my children running around the yard.
They should be tagged for life.
Yeah.
And whichever community they go into, every local should be aware of who they are.
We digress. Now, this was a 6-week trial, with the jury finally deliberating for over 14 hours and 25 minutes before reaching their verdicts. Afterwards, the jury were obviously thanked for their service, but also relieved from jury duty for the rest of their lives. Clearly, like, this is such a hectic case, we don't expect you to ever have to do this again.
I said it would be fairly gruesome stuff, and the evidence would be fairly...
I'd say some of the evidence could have been absolutely heartbreaking, and the fact that Anna's parents sat through that is something no parent should ever have to hear about. Now, after the verdict was given, boy A appeared upset. Both of his parents were there supporting him. His mother was crying, and his dad was holding his hand.
That's of course, my little Johnny could never do something like that.
Sickening. I can't imagine if I'd heard those things about my child, I would never look at them the same. I can't imagine sitting there holding their hand. I know you don't know when you're a parent, but...
Yeah, look, it's something that you just don't want to have to ever witness, but there was people dealing with on a regular basis. I won't say every day of the week, but on a regular basis, there was
this sort of stuff happening.
There was kids committing these crimes.
There are, of course there are.
And it's getting more common.
Yeah. Now, boy B, on the other hand, hugged his mother, but his father actually stormed out, slamming the door, and then returning with a slow hand clap, saying, quote, "An innocent child is going to prison." No, an innocent child died. Like, your child is not innocent in any of this. Like, Anna would still be alive if boy B didn't lure her into an abandoned home under false fucking pretenses, knowing his friend had planned a month prior to murder her. He would have probably known that his friend had a full murder kit there. He left Anna screaming, and in front of Anna's parents, to say an innocent boy is going to prison. What a piece of trash.
Yeah, just because he didn't give the final blow with a rock or the stick.
Yeah. Doesn't mean
doesn't mean that. He's still fully part of the whole...
Yeah.
death of Anna.
Had he not contributed to this, Anna would still be alive.
Oh, of course.
So now, regardless, both boys are in prison. Boy A was sentenced to life with a review period after 12 years for Anna's murder, and he received an additional 12 years for the aggravated sexual assault, which was running alongside the murder sentence. And boy B was sentenced to 15 years for Anna's murder, with a review period after 8. Both boys will be offered new identities after their release.
Did their paroles come up for the last year or two? Like that was 2018, so that's probably putting up to next year, so like that's 6 years old, 7 years, May.
So we're looking at like in 2026, the 8-year review period is up for boy B.
There is, but see, no, they have to bring in a law, those that come into the country that the parole hearing, the victims' relatives will be part of the hearing.
Part of the hearing, like, in what sense?
In the part of the parole process. So, like, if their hearing comes up parole, Anna's parents are fully to take part in that parole hearing and give their view on it.
Interesting.
Which is probably a good thing in a way, like.
I think that's good for the victims, that a parent can further share their thoughts. But Anna's parents left the court speaking to RTE saying, quote, Anna was a dream come true for us, and she always will be. She will stay in our hearts forever loved and forever cherished. We love you, Anna. Boy A and Boy B would become the youngest people in Irish history to be convicted of murder, in this case that has been compared in the media to the 1993 case of James Bulger, as I mentioned before. So what this case actually was, because I didn't really mention it too thoroughly before, I believe it was 2 10-year-olds had abducted and horrifically tortured a 3, or was he 2 or 3?
Were they even 10?
I believe one at least was. Maybe 9 and 10, but I think they were 10.
Yeah, I remember that case. That's
93.
93, yeah. I would have been young.
Yeah, I wasn't born. Now, this happened in Liverpool, England, and they were the youngest convicted murderers in England, and that's where the comparison kind of ends, I suppose. But James Bulger's mother has had a lot to say about this case, including, like, wanting their identities to be released after they turn 18, or, like, once they're released from prison and things like that, which is exactly what she would have wanted for her child's, abductors. But anyway, back to Anna's story. After Boy A and Boy B were found guilty, people on social media were seeking to avenge Anna. Now, as I said, due to them being minors, the judge banned identification of the boys, but people were posting on Facebook and Twitter at the time identifying the names along with photos of both boys. There were numerous threats towards the 2 boys and their families. Teachers as well, actually. I think teachers were copying this as well. Really, anyone that was kind of deemed by the public an accomplice in her tragedy, they were going for. I will say that there were other boys wrongly identified who received a lot of threats, which is horrible, and no one should have to go through that. It really shouldn't have happened. No one should have identified anyone without being 100% certain. But a lawyer for Boy B said that Boy B's family had gone into hiding because of this. Cool. Raise bad kids. Deal with the consequences.
Yeah, sure, look, it's like that case I tell you about down the wall for like parents had to sell up and get out. I don't know what to do with the parents.
I guess.
I don't think it was their plan to
raise
a child that's going to.
No, I don't think it's anyone's plan, really. But, you know, even you could tell that they clearly just overdid the, like, to be slow clapping in court after your child gets sentenced. Your child deserved to be sentenced.
Oh, sure, of course he did, but yeah,
like they were just enabling him, clearly. So, cool, go into hiding.
That fucking sick bastard deserved to go into hiding.
100%. But, to be fair, identifying these boys is a crime.
That was what the ruling was at the time, that you could not identify.
Yeah.
Which people, of course, the public were dead right in identifying these boys. But they were getting more threatening for telling the public who these were.
Exactly. So this is actually, like, identifying either of the boys is punishable by up to 3 years in prison. So if those avengers were found, they would be punished. Like, imagine spending up to 3 years in prison over something like that. But anyway, Facebook and Twitter representatives were actually dragged into court for a separate trial over allowing the publication of the photos identifying the 2 boys. However, they proved that they couldn't have possibly prevented that, particularly given that they weren't privy to the identification of either boy prior to this either. So how could they prevent photos or names or anything coming up when they don't even know what they're supposed to be preventing?
And I know it's an A and B boy case.
Exactly. So both Facebook and Twitter had to remove all material identifying either boy A or boy B, which does seem like a lot of effort to go through over a couple of child killers. But anyway, they're children, that was the law. What I, again, will say, I do really hope it somehow comes out when they're adults. But Anna is who matters in this story, so let's go back to her. Anna's funeral took place on the 31st of May 2018. Her family requested that mourners wear sparkle and colour in Anna's memory, and for anyone that could make a donation to the Russian-Irish adoption group. And as I said, her parents treasured her culture, so a Russian flag and a I can't even say the word, matryoshka doll. You know those ones that's like a doll inside a doll inside a doll inside a doll? And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was placed on her coffin. Now, Anna's family also set up a charity in her honour with the Russian-Irish adoption group, and it's actually called Anna, which stands for Anna's Network of Adolescents. So I think a lot of positivity, she should not have passed away by any means, but I do like that in her memory they have done so much good and tried to like bring so much good into the world. I think like it's so showing that they really did care about her culture and things like that.
Actually, which is a good thing. As you say, she was Irish, he was French.
Yeah. Actually, going back to Patrick, unfortunately, he passed away in June 2024, which was 4 years after Anna's murder.
Oh, he passed away this year.
Sorry, it's 2022, so it's just Geraldine now. That's a lot of tragedy.
I mean, he was passed away a young man, didn't he?
I believe he was a bit older. Well, he seemed to be like an older father. Like, he still would have been young. I'd say he would have been like in his 60s. So, he was retired. I would say between Geraldine and Patrick, they both were like very career focused for a long time, and then they got Anna. And Anna was like their light, and two little pieces of shit took that away from them.
Yeah, but I suppose, look, Patrick is living with it for the rest of his life. That he see her walk away.
I know.
Unless she was just gotten that extra bit that he couldn't shout it.
Yep. And Geraldine has to experience the fact that she didn't answer the phone calls. There is so much tragedy.
Yeah, like in her way, her career came first.
I mean, in a sense, she was in a meeting. What was she supposed to do?
Oh, I know, but you look, that's not going to change.
I know.
That would have been the last phone call that she could have had.
I know. And it's so heartbreaking that her last moment was like waking her up for school and like giving her a note and things like that, and just like, goodbye, like have a good day. But like that.
It'd be like this normal daily routine.
Yeah. And then going off to work. No, that's everything on Anna.
Oh no, it was a tough case, you say. Like, they're the youngest murderers in the country. It's just...
Yeah.
I remember the case. It was big news. It had to be big news at the time. For such a gruesome case, for so many young people involved.
Yeah. Like, we have discussed gruesome cases with young people. We had the Cassie Jo Stoddart case, and she was 16. The killers were 16 and things like this. This case, like, my gosh, it like broke me. It tore my heart out. And I think a lot of it has to do with like, the way her parents talk and everything as well. And that's not to say that like, Cassie's case had any less, not to say I care less or anything like that. Every case is horrific and like no murder should ever happen. But this girl is just such an innocent girl, like Anna, and this is just heartbreaking. Just constant shit until two people. It's just horrible. Yeah,
sure. Look, it was a tough case, and fair play for your investigating into it.
Thank you, babe.
Good job.
Thank you.
As always.
Thank you. No, that's everything we have on Anna. Yeah. We will see you all next week with another case.
Until then, bye for now.
Bye.